Jack's RPG Podcast. I'm in Max. Pursuing the RPG hobby with reckless abandon.
Why, hello, and welcome to Season 23, Episode 7 of Happy Jack's RPG Podcast. My name is Stu.
My name is Kimmy.
And I am Tappy.
And by the way, if you're out there and you are interested in donating to the Rainbow Railroad fundraiser, you can still do so.
Yes.
happyjacks.org/rainbow. And it will take you to the page. We're a little over 6,000 now. We're at 625 last time I checked.
Awesome.
Nice.
That's amazing.
6,025.
Fuck yeah.
Not 625 million, which is my
That was
sort of
the
like private
side-
goal.
Yeah.
But we're still doing good. And we blew past our goal.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
In this episode, we discuss campaign sequels and continuations.
Okay.
Kaitor? I think we're Kaitor.
I like Kitor.
Let's vote.
Kaitor, the flying eagle.
Kaitor. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Kaitor. Can loot? He asks, can loot be intimidation? And Jeb sends us a horror story.
Ooh.
But first, I know horror stories. We actually got a few horror stories in the
Excellent.
can right now. If you'd like to email us, you can email us at happyjacksrpg@gmail.com. That's happyjacksrpg@gmail.com. And we're on all the social media. happyjacksrpg, all one word. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and MeWe, which I haven't posted on in a couple weeks. But I will start again.
Lies.
Come MeWe with me.
Yes.
Wow, that just sounds...
Dirty?
Yes!
That's why he likes it.
It makes people uncomfortable. I like making people uncomfortable.
You do.
It's
Not
like...
yet.
It's like self-water sports or something. Like,
You mean like peeing on yourself? I've done that accidentally.
Yeah.
I've never tried it for pleasure.
yeah, like in the shower or something, not like trying to hit you in the face.
Well, there was that old wives' tale that you pee on your feet if you have athlete's foot.
Oh yeah, don't do that.
Never heard that?
No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work.
No, of course not. Otherwise, then you wouldn't get like fungus from locker room floors because there's pee all over locker room floors. Like that would solve the problem. Never mind. You don't know. Never mind.
Why were pee over locker room floors?
But you've never been in a locker room then because
Yes,
pee's
I
are
have.
gross.
Well, they're
super
gross,
nasty.
but they're not pee all over the floor.
Anyway,
I've never been in a locker room where there's pee all over the floor.
well, you don't know.
I mean, I've
It's
been
not
in
like wet.
bar restrooms where there's pee all over the floor.
Right, but like there's pee on the floor in restrooms, like most restrooms, at least a small amount. It gets tracked out. It's in the locker room.
I see what you're saying. Okay, I thought you were telling me people like, oh, I'm too tired. I worked out so hard. I'm just gonna piss myself right
No,
here
I don't think that.
and leave a puddle right in front of my locker.
No.
Okay. No.
Although I was in swim team, so I don't know what the puddles were from. So who knows?
Oh yeah, there's water all
Yeah.
over the place.
Well, no, but you just pee in the pool then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 100%. No, that's what you do. That's the thing.
That's how you keep it warm.
That's when you get pissed at the person in front of you in the lane. If you're like, oh, warm. God damn it, warm spots. Shit. It's gross. But that's why there's so much chlorine.
That's why. That's like whenever my kids get in the car after I pick them up from school. I swear to you, they hold their farts all day long and wait until they're in my car, and then and they're usually quiet and they're awful. They have to roll the windows down and blast the AC, get it out, get the windows all closed up again, and the other one goes. And
You taught
man.
them well.
I didn't teach them that.
No, weightlifting farts are the worst because you're like straining and stuff, and then just brrr, like, oh god damn it.
Did you ever tell about the yoga fart? I was in a yoga class. I don't know who it was. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. But it was someone behind me. We're they're doing the happy baby thing where you grab onto your feet and
yeah.
roll onto your back and your like knees are like right here.
Yeah.
And someone let loose. And I'm like, I'm not 12. I'm not 12. I'm not 12. I won't laugh. I won't laugh. I
You're
won't
like
laugh.
serene meditation.
Oh, man. We haven't even started. We're off the rails, guys.
I know. All right. So I wanted to talk about sequels and continuations. Because this is something that comes up a lot in games.
Yeah.
Where you run a game and the players have a fun time and they either want to keep playing or they want, or they at a later time want to revisit the game. And I want to kind of talk about what instances where it's worked well, instances where it's haven't, and see if we can sort of drill down on common elements as to why they did or didn't work, or disparate elements as to why it did or didn't work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I ran a very long GURPS campaign that lasted a few years in college, and I got to the end point, and everyone wanted to keep playing, and I had to come up with some crazy shit because it was a world scale campaign. It's like at some point the characters are going to get powerful enough or be influential enough. They're going to be doing something to literally save the world. How do you follow that?
Yeah.
You can't. I mean, well, you introduce aliens or something, right? That's what you do. And that one did not work. That one ended up kind of fizzling out after, I don't know, 3 or 4 sessions or something like that. But have you had any campaigns where you've reached the end point, either play or run, where you reach the end point, people want to keep going, and it's worked well, or it hasn't worked well, and maybe why? And also the sort of sequel thing where there's like some time like I want to play that game again. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Once I tried to continue a game after we had kind of closed it, and it was my Apocalypse World campaign that went on for a couple years. That was just fucking awesome. And we ended on this crazy high point of actually the party itself like turning on each other. And when that happened, that was kind of like, well, we're no longer going to work together ever. So we'll just end it here. And so we tried picking that up again without the people who were on one side and like with some other people, and just the magic wasn't there. Like the characters had worked so well together because they kind of grew. The concepts of them grew together.
Yeah,
sure.
You know, especially with story games like Apocalypse World, you have a very bare bones thing on your player sheet, and so the personality of your character and what they care about and how they interact with the world like really grows out of your campaign.
Yeah.
And so when trying to take those characters and move them on without the other 2 characters that were on like the insurgency side kind of thing, it just didn't work. And I don't know, looking back on it, I really don't know how I could have made it work. Like, it was kind of like that story of those characters were kind of done.
Right.
And I think we could have gone on in like the same world or done a, like you said, like kind of like a sequel thing rather than a continuation. But maybe if we had all the characters, we could do a continuation. But I don't know how we would have done that with how the characters ended it. Like, there's no way they would continue to work together.
Right.
And there'd have to be like some huge GM caveats of like, well, God came down and told you
Right.
that you need to mend your wicked ways.
Yeah.
And that's the only one that I've actually tried.
Yeah. I've done it a couple times. I mean, like there's been the continuations with like Saga of the Inukai, but those are, I think, different examples a little bit.
Well, those are sequels.
Yeah.
And I actually have some thoughts on why that sort of worked, and as opposed to other things. But go ahead.
Yeah. I've played in like some continuation like D&D games, and we actually tried to do that also on stream with Desert of Despair. So it was like, we did this amazing storyline ending. Oh, we still want to keep playing. All right, we're going to keep streaming. 1 session. Like, and then like just like nobody could get together after that. It was just like this, and it was just like this. It sounds very similar to what Tappy was describing, where you are just riding the high of that. Like,
And you want it to keep going.
you want it to keep going. And I've done it in home campaigns too, where you just kind of keep going, and it just feels kind of forced. It's like that bad relationship that you really like certain things about the person, but you know it's not working, but you just kind of keep smiling and you keep making it work.
Right.
Like the sex is really good,
Yeah.
but nothing else is.
Could you just
Right.
not talk as much, please? Yeah, so it has that like kind of like morning after feel to it.
Right.
That is exactly, no, you are 100% right.
Yeah.
You are 100% right.
Yeah, it's just not as good as you remembered it being, and it's just, it can't get to that point again without a lot of alcohol, maybe. And This may have stopped being about RPGs.
Right.
But I think like that's something that a lot of us face because you get to that great point and you have so much fun and you are so in love with the characters and you love the story that you've created together. And I think sometimes you just don't know when to like call it and be like, okay, this is a great story. Let's move on to a brand new story.
Right.
But I'm sure. I don't know.
We totally had that thing with Monster Hearts, where we had this great arc, and then we kept on trying to push it, and it just couldn't keep going.
Yeah.
Right.
It just couldn't keep going.
Yeah.
And so we just had to stop.
Right. I think the thing with the Inukai thing, because we had two basic sequels, right? We had the original game, and then we had the second game, which was like the next generation.
Yes.
And that started with the last of the original PC's funeral.
Yeah.
That's how the game started.
Such a great way to start a campaign.
Right.
Like super good.
But there again, it ran 3 or 4 or
Fizzled-
5 sessions,
it
and it fizzled out.
super fast.
And then some time went by.
Yeah. And that was with the pressure of like releasing it to people too.
Right, yeah.
So I mean that makes it, especially if you're like, there's a bunch of people who are waiting to listen to this and we still fizzled out. Like that tells you how powerful the fizzle out can be with these things.
Right. The second one, which started in the FFG L5R and then into back to 4th edition, I think the reason that game has worked so well, part of it is because there was there was an injection of some new blood. There were some new players involved.
Yes.
But the other thing is there was a lot of distance.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember, like 100 years or several generations difference.
Yeah.
From the original campaign. So the original characters in the game are now like the lionized ancestors.
Yes.
You know, and that's sort of like it starts to become sort of like a shared mythology of the players, right? Which I thought was very powerful in the opening session when it's like, okay, this is the dice show that belonged to Nakoma. This is the dice show that belonged to so and so, and then it's like you're now the characters and the players are part of a history that's greater than themselves.
Yeah.
And I think that gave it a little sort of a level of gravitas
Yes.
to the game. The other thing, as far as like the plot and everything, all I did is I literally used the plot that you guys ignored in the first campaign.
Nice. Yes.
I just kind of sat down
The
and sort of
swords.
right, the swords that you guys hid one of them and were not interested in going out and finding any of the other ones or finding out anything about them. Or
I don't know if it was you guys buried. It was like me.
You buried
Yeah,
it.
I buried it.
Well, no, they buried it, and then you went
then
back
I
and buried it and
again,
moved it.
so nobody would know where it was.
So yeah, because you were afraid someone would come back
Still
and
want
steal
to
it.
find out what the hell happened there, man.
Well, it started corrupting. You found that out in the
Yeah.
second.
Yeah.
I know.
In the second version, because it started corrupting the area around it and it turned into this weird sort of
Creepy thing.
shadow swamp.
Yeah.
But I think the other thing that that allowed that game to be successful is because of the fact that it had its own story. It was a story you guys ignored,
Yeah.
but it was the main plot, and I basically took, okay, they didn't deal with this really kind of scary thing, and then the second campaign where you guys started to actually deal with that fizzled out.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so this guy keeps going. So I'm gonna wait like 4 or 5, 6 generations. What would happen?
Yeah.
Well, he would have insidiously infused himself into as many powerful clan courts as he could, and tried to cause as much discord as he possibly could. And so that's why when the game started, the entire empire is at war.
Yeah.
I mean, these clans are fighting with these clans, and these clans are trying to stop these clans from fighting by burning their farms, so they no longer have the food to support their armies, and
Yeah.
et cetera. And I think I just lost my train.
I think time needed to pass for that to happen, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, and I think the two, you listed them as two distinct points, but I think that they are actually connected. Like time passing in the game and out of game for people to get past like the burnout a little bit.
Oh, that's true.
Because even if you have like a great story, like you've been in this zone for a long time. Like suddenly, I think that was one of the things maybe with our second Inukai campaign, like jumping to another character. Like I was still very much in like Akume's head,
Right.
And now I'm supposed to be playing. I think it was Stork's daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember. I was someone else's character's daughter, which was cool. But I kept like, you can't play a character for it was like
No, it wasn't
2 years.
no, because Tyler was playing Stork's.
Oh, maybe I was Tyler's character. I don't know.
Might have been, yeah.
Somebody else's child. And so you're still kind of very in your headspace of, like, I was still super partial to, I think wasn't Dave going to be my, like, child or something?
Right.
Yeah, or something. So you're, like, still trying to be nice to your character, even though it's now Dave's that, like, kind of taken that on. I don't know.
Right.
I still felt myself having bias there
Right.
towards Akume. Where, like, in this campaign, like, it's far enough away from it that I don't feel those biases.
Right.
I was super pissed off when my sword got messed up, but whatever. So I think that really does help keep people fresh, and I think the time passing helped even though the foundation had been laid, and I think this is important in all campaigns, like you were saying, it has its own storyline. I think time has to pass for there to be another storyline. Because,
in the meat space world, not just in the story.
in
world.
both, yeah.
Right.
But in the story worlds, is what I'm kind of talking about at the moment. But you're absolutely right. Because, like, okay, we just saved, the world from this giant alien. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh no, there's another
And then,
alien.
and then on Tuesday, there's an even bigger one.
yeah, and then, like, no matter what, that, like, there's that power creep that kind of loses the gravitas. So when you read novels, when you see movies, like, there's years that pass between these big dangers, even in, like, the Marvel universe or anything like that. So, or maybe not years, but a long time. And so you kind of need that feeling for these events to have gravitas. Because if the world's almost, taken out every other day, the world's going to die again today.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool, I'm still going to go to the mall because who knows? Tomorrow's going to happen again.
Exactly.
I think also, like, just that idea of shared mythology and players who are playing the game, the second one, seeing their characters enshrined is really important. I think that makes them feel what they did was useful.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then that puts more energy into the new ones of what I'm doing here is useful too.
Right.
Like, I'd really like to, at some point, go back to my Traveler campaign 1,000 years in the future. And all of the characters, I mean, I did not intend this to be a Save the Universe game, and it by game 2 was a Save the Universe game.
Right.
And so having all the characters be these heroes, these legendary heroes, and that have really changed now, like, this entire, like, area of the galaxy, I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially with L5R too, where, like, ancestors are so important. I think that's I just am a big fan of that whole thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's true of, like, every game, though, because, like, in D&D, I think one of the things that fizzled out, besides schedules in some of the games that I've played, is that, I don't know, just that. I've lost my train of thought too now.
Okay.
But yeah.
It's only Pinot Grigio. It's not like
I know I haven't had very much of it
it's not
either.
Scotch.
I think I started thinking about what Tappy said while I was, like, thinking about and I got lost.
Well, I mean, I think in a lot of games it's easier to, like, lose grasp of like kind of like a timeline, etc. Whereas L5R has so much history to it. I mean, they have literally 1,200 years of history, like, written down that you can go and look at. So I think it's a little bit easier to have that kind of ancestor worship kind of situation.
Absolutely. Well, and I think one of the benefits of having, because I have a terrible memory, and lots of our people in our community have noticed that I have a terrible memory. But like, I remember, like, parts about a campaign, but, like, if that campaign's gonna go on for a super long time, I'm not going to have the best recollection of everything that happens. Having space between what happened in the first campaign and what happened in the next campaign gives me a great reason to not know every single little thing. Like, now that I'm remembering this is what I heard happened 4 years ago by the other agents in S.H.I.E.L.D. or whatever, or this is what my great-great-great-great-great-grandmother did. Like,
Yeah.
It gives a reason and a legitimate cause for the fuzziness of my recollection.
Great. It's like, so what did your great-grandmother do? Nobody knows. It's been lost to the mist of time.
Something with an air commie. I don't know.
Like, no, seriously, we have it recorded. You can just go look at it. No,
I know. It's a mystery. Nobody knows. Yeah, no.
All right. I had to bring a dog in because she's outside
She was
whining.
so upset. But I really like the space gives it its own room to breathe too.
Yes.
You're not trying to be the same thing again, which I think is important.
I agree.
But I've also heard people make it work, so if you can, that's amazing. Tell us how you did it. Not that we want to know. We do. I want to know.
There you go. Can loot be intimidation? From Kaitor. Who would like to read? Or should I?
I will. Oh, you can
Go for it.
Okay, me. P.S. Dr. Bones, I know you're listening. If you don't want to peek behind the GM screen, stop listening for the next 5 to 10 minutes.
Make it
10 to 15 minutes, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, dear King Douche and whatever douchettes you've managed to gather this evening.
Well, do shit.
Haha. One of my players said something in our last session that got me thinking, and I wanted to get your thoughts on the subject. First, some backstory about our game. Feel free to drink and mark off the emailer tells you about our home game box in your Happy Jacks. Thank you. RPG bingo card. I'll just take a drink. More drinks. I'm currently running my second campaign for our group. The first being Blades in the Dark, and now its sequel, Scum and Villainy. I only bring this up because in Blades, the currency coin is supposed to be a rare thing your crew is always after. 4 coin is a pretty good haul for a small job, and 10 is a once-in-a-lifetime score. So, when I started running SAV, I figured some game engines, credits would replace coin, and are they the same thing? I kept payments low to keep the crew constantly looking for their next paycheck. But I noticed as the game went on that there was a lot more money sinks in SAV than there was in Blades, so the crew needed more money just to stay afloat. And somehow my crew actually decided to play the good, honorable bounty hunters this game, and haven't capitalized on any extra legal revenue sources presented to them. Trust me, I'm as shocked that they've been able to keep it up for 6 sessions as you are. That is actually really impressive for that game.
Yeah.
Which leads me to our last session. A group of zealot monks were attacking with the arms dealer's warehouse, and the crew had been hired to help round up as many rats that tried to flee the sinking ship. Armed with nothing but some grapple hooks, they chased after a ship with 2 mass driver machine guns, and as you would expect, started getting some pretty big holes in their pretty little ship. In the end, they ended up winning the day.
Sorry. I'm wrestling a dog who wants to get to the World Wire.
Based on the damage they received, the cost to fix their ship, and the reputation damage they did with another faction that was trying to hire them to save the gunrunners, I figured now was the time to give them a decent payout. One of the crew on the other ship had a huge bounty on him, so they could pull in the captured ship and get a reward for it, plus the payment the monks were giving them to help out on their job. All in all, the group has the potential to earn them as much profit as the 5 previous sessions combined. So I expect to hear cheers of success, or at least a few thanks on their new benevolent GM for bestowing spending cash on their poor characters. But one of the players just sat back and said something to the effect of, "You realize that now the GM is giving us loot. That means the hammer is about to fall, right?" That caught me completely off guard. I never thought about using loot payouts as a way to intimidate and get your players invested. In a similar way that a video game might give you some fire resist potions from a chest and a fire resist helmet from a mini boss and some more fire resistant boots from some secret stash built to build up your suspense that you're about to fight something huge and scary that could roast you alive. Can you use carefully planned out loot payment as to drive player engagement in a tabletop RPG that spans weeks and months? Have you ever purposely or accidentally done anything similar? A loyal listener, I think it's Kitor, still not on the forum 2 years later. P.S. Dr. Bones, you may now resume listening. Wow.
Well, if he says carefully planned out, so I'm out.
Right.
I mean, no.
This brings up an interesting question, because should the GM exploit players when they're metagaming? Because that's exactly what this is.
Yes.
This is a player. It's exactly like the game that Dave and Stork ran at a con, where they go to some place and they throw out this pre-prepared map, and one of the players says, "We're on the right track because they had a map for this place."
Yeah.
Right?
We're like, oh, there's a map for everything now.
Right. But I wonder, I mean, that's kind of what you're doing if you were to, because this happened just by chance.
Yeah.
But if you were to actually plan to do this, is it exploiting a player's tendency to metagame, or is it just foreshadowing?
or is it training them to
Yes.
stop?
Maybe.
That's what I thought. That's interesting.
That could be. I don't know.
But yeah,
I mean, I've done stuff where it's like the players are going to fight some big thing.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done it in more recent games, but in older games, I've certainly done it. I
Yeah.
mean, in the early years of the podcast, it's like, well, I need to get the players leveled up to whatever because the next big thing they're gonna meet is gonna be whatever. Like
Yeah.
oh, they're gonna meet a mage with a fireball, so I want them to be at least at this level. Otherwise, it's gonna be a TPK or
Yeah.
something along those lines. And you sort of kind of start front loading them with either XP by having them go through some easy fights or get them better equipment and stuff like that. I mean, I've done stuff like that intentionally.
Right.
I don't know if players noticed. I don't know if the players saw a pattern.
I mean, that's something I think that people expect, especially when it's like D&D. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know, it's pretty like common, and in most of the games that I've played, it's like, oh, okay, we're getting magic items, and oh, we're leveling up. Like, but you kind of expect that the bad guys are going to level up with you.
Right.
Like, in that, it's like, yes, we are getting magic items, and we are getting higher levels so that we can face these things that are down the road.
yeah, like the video game that gives you fire resist potions, fire resist helmets. That sounds like a Square Enix
Yeah.
Japanese RPG kind of
Yeah.
video game, which is very much that way.
Yeah.
Of you must be X level because this is going to be X level, and you have to have this gear. And I haven't really played a game like that in a while.
Yeah. I mean,
Not that it's bad, of course,
No.
but it's just
Yeah.
it's very, I don't know, it's kind of odd to put fear in the player characters and not like the actual players, not the player
right.
characters.
We do it all the time with items, though. Like, if you think about, they go into the room. Oh, they might find some money. They also find a journal with information. Like, I feel like we do it, but not necessarily with things that we would consider, like, quote, loots, like disposable items or coins or something like that.
like things that look like story leads.
Yeah.
Right? Where I had a player who, if I put a red herring out, she would jump on it like a pit bull.
Right.
and lock onto it and tell everybody else to fuck off because this is a thing. It's like, oh god damn it, that's a red herring. That was just
Yeah,
No.
I've learned red herrings are a dangerous thing.
Yeah.
If you actually want to tell a progressing story,
yeah.
make the red herring a thing, not a red herring.
Yeah, a red snapper, not a red
Right.
herring.
Evidently, that's what our whole first L5R campaign was.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
But that gave you the whole story arc to use 4 years later.
That's right, yes.
It's really a gift to use.
I literally was using a lot of the prep and even some of the dreams were stuff that I recycled that I never got to use.
Nice. But yeah, I feel like this is actually a pretty good idea, though. Like, I might actually steal this and see how it goes because I'm running a campaign soon, which is exciting.
Yeah. Somewhere in the back of my head, I'm thinking it may not be a good idea to exploit metagaming because I'm wondering if you're encouraging it.
Yeah.
If you make the metagaming supposition correct, are you inviting more of it?
Well, no, that would be the thing, and I know.
And then you then you screw them over.
Yeah, no.
Twist it the other way around.
That's what I always do, and I feel like I've exploited metagaming, but never with loot before. I've 100% done it in other ways. Like, I mean, and we all kind of do this. Whenever you misdirect players, they're going to assume that this is the bad guy. I'm going to give them, and they're using knowledge that they probably didn't get in character to like assume that this is the bad guy, or
Oh yeah, you're playing with the player's expectations
Right.
or the player's perceptions of what you're seeing, rather than what the characters would.
right.
see.
So I feel like we play with their metagaming all the time. I just haven't done it specifically with loot and items.
Right.
I mean, with specific loot. Like I have done it on purpose. Like, here's an item in this room that's going to make them think that that guy they already are suspicious of is the guy. Oh no, it's not that guy. Like, I also am mean. So
I tend to give people loot because I think it's cool.
Yeah.
And
Right.
that's one of the troubles. Like, oh, this is really cool. This is great with your character. Here, take it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, now you like totally rock everything. Okay.
God.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
when I gave rhinos
No.
to the D&D party. That was the worst mistake I ever made.
it was the best. You had no idea we were going to.
Like, oh my god.
We wrecked everything with those rhinos. They were the best.
I finally had to make a passage that was so narrow that the rhinos
Yeah.
couldn't make it through.
yeah.
Rhino Wreckers would have been a great T-shirt to make.
Right.
Oh my god. So I don't know. I don't think it's bad to do that with them. Like if you're messing with their expectations, good. It will keep them on their feet and on their toes, and they won't trust you, and that will be fun.
Yeah. Although I think there's a very specific example for very specific games. A lot of games,
Yeah.
it's not going to occur to the players. If they find a weapons cache in a Traveler game,
Yeah.
they're not going to think, oh, wait, there's going to be a ravenous bladder beast of Trawl.
Yeah. I also want to clarify when I say they won't trust you, like they will trust you as a GM, but just not trust any of the clues you give.
They won't trust
There's a
themselves.
difference. Yeah. That's more important. Trust your GM, but not yourselves.
I think that metagaming is bad,
Yes.
and people should try not to do it.
Yes,
Yes.
I agree.
In general.
That's kind of the thing in the back of my head that is.
It's just tough, and there are times when I metagame and I try really hard not to.
Yeah.
But I mean, everybody does.
Yeah.
Just because you're excited about your character, not even if you're trying to win.
Right.
Well, we've coined the term Schrodinger's metagaming. When
Right.
you know something as a player,
Yes.
and suddenly your actions as a character are stifled because you don't want to appear to be metagaming, or would it really have occurred to me to do this if I didn't overhear this conversation at the table? Things like that.
Yeah.
See, I've never had that problem with characters, though. Like, when I played them, it's always really clear to me, like, oh, no, I thought of that. My character would not have thought of that.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I guess
My brain is always doing puzzles.
that's true.
And I typically play characters that like to solve problems.
Yeah. That's
And so it's really hard to, like, that line blurs a lot.
Yeah.
Especially like in the character I'm playing, Hannibal, in Vault 818. He is half like problem solver, half like criminal. And so I'm trying really hard to do the problem solving stuff and make everybody happy so they all owe me without me having played all of the Fallout games and knowing all of the stuff
Right.
that he doesn't know.
yeah.
Right.
You know, so
And my character in that game is just really dumb. Like, she's really
I love
strong
your
and
character.
really dumb. So
Now,
it's like,
how far in the future is this vault?
it's 2270 something.
yeah, it's like 300 years.
Almost 300
yeah.
years. Okay, all right. So it's like a typical Fallout game,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's, yeah.
as opposed to Fallout 76 or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't speak of it.
76?
Yeah.
Zachary loves it.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who really like it, and I know some other people who really hate it. It's kind of like Vegemite.
Yeah.
You either love it or hate it.
Yeah. Do not like.
Yeah, I tried Vegemite recently for the first
Oh,
time.
we're being corrected 200 years in the future.
200, okay.
I'm not a Vegemite person.
Is that the
That's the
that
yeast
yeast
paste.
stuff? Oh,
Yeah.
you know what? Very quickly I got an email about it from a listener. No, I think it was an Australian listener in England who said, "Okay, you're putting too much on. You're not eating it right." Says this is what, and he said, you take a piece of toast, you put butter on it, and then you let that shit soak in. That was his quote. Let that shit soak in. Then you put a very thin layer of Vegemite or Marmite on it.
Yeah. Oh no, Marmite. That was what I actually tried.
Marmite is thinner. I have both of them now.
I will try that again with butter because I'm always interested in liking disgusting things.
First time I tried it, I took a big dollop like I was
Yeah.
using peanut butter.
Yeah, that's what I did.
And I smeared it on a piece of
Like,
toast.
oh god.
And I'm like, oh, it's awful, absolutely awful. But with butter, the fat in the butter kind of cuts that sort of super tangy, yeasty taste to it. It's got.
It's kind of like if you imagine if you took soy sauce and then made it like mostly solid.
Yeah, that's a lot. What
That's
it's
that's
like,
what
yeah.
it tastes like.
All right.
But on a piece of toast, if it's made properly, it's delicious.
Really? Oh, okay. I will try.
I
it.
actually really like it.
Okay, I will try that.
All right. Any more for Mr. Ketor?
No.
Ketor?
But if you start doing this, tell us how it goes. Or if
Yeah,
anyone
I'm-
else does this. Because I'm going to start. If you're in my campaign.
Although
don't
you know,
expect it.
I don't know. It's hard to apply this in other kinds of games where you don't have that kind of mindset.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, if you had players that are in this kind of a mindset and you're playing Call of Cthulhu, like, oh, you've walked into a room that's full of M60 machine guns.
And like, oh, well, obviously we were not going to fight anything of any importance because
Yeah.
this won't work on it.
Right.
So I feel great.
Yeah.
You walk into a library and it's all esoteric books.
Yeah.
We're fucked.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. See, we've done that. That
Right.
happens all the
man.
time in games. It's just I just don't think we think of that think of it in that context.
I got kicked out of a Call of Cthulhu game once because my character, who was like a college student, got attacked by zombies in a library and tried to shoot a zombie with a flare gun. And so I burnt the entire library down with all the stuff we needed. And they're like, we don't want you in our game anymore. You burn books down.
Why wouldn't the GM just move the stuff to another library across town?
Because this was 25 years ago.
Oh.
Oh.
And you're playing by Blackleaf rules. No, you burn down that thing.
Yeah.
You got to leave.
That's fantastic.
All right. Thank you very much, Kaitor,
Yes.
for the email.
Thank you, Kaitor.
And horror story from Jeb.
I will read the horror story from Jeb.
Before you do that, hand me that bottle of rye.
Appropriate.
Right. Hello, Boosdags. It is I, Jeb, not Jib, with a gaming horror story that is unfolding
Jeb.
even as we speak.
Yes.
You know, I never thought those emails were real until I had an experience to share with you. Oh, God. Oh, I'm so happy about this. I mean, I'm not happy about that, but...
Yeah.
We are the forum of RPG podcasts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Forum, not in a forum like online, but forum as in
Yes.
the
Roman Forum.
Yes.
Botany Bay.
Yeah.
Bob Guccione publisher fame. Bob Guccione?
Oh.
Yeah, it was a Penthouse.
Yeah.
publisher. Yeah. It always started with Dear Forum. I never thought this would happen to me. The pool boy came over.
Right up front, I want to make it clear. There are no villains in the story. The GM in question, let's call him Don, because that's his name, is a great guy, and I'm glad he's part of our gaming group. But his GM style reads like a checklist from the Happy Jack's Don't Do This list. Railroading? Check.
Awesome.
Removing player agency? Check.
Yes.
Endless perception checks? Check, check, check.
Excellent.
GMPCs? Oh, God.
Oh.
Check.
The worst.
Fucking with the rules of the game? Check. Forgetting to bring his notes? Check.
I've done that. That's not so bad. Good.
Well, one time I couldn't fucking attach to your internet here, and all my notes were on the cloud.
That's not
Right.
your fault, though.
I was like, oh, God damn it.
Nobody could tell.
Yeah,
until you
nobody
said
could
it.
tell. Yeah, and the game went sideways. If you like, you can play Bad GM Bingo, as I described the game.
Oh my God, that's the thing we need to make.
Yeah,
GM Bingo. I don't know if that's a good idea. I can see it being fun.
For like 12
No, it would be.
seconds.
I mean, you could play it, but you have to play it quietly, unless you want to hurt the GM's feelings.
Right. Not in the world of
You'd mostly do it at cons,
no.
and you would have to
At cons, that would be great.
and you'd have to intentionally sign up for bad games.
Well, this is also the world of like streaming and online games. Like you can watch other
Oh,
people
other
play
people, yeah.
That's true.
from your
Right.
home
Right.
and be like, oh God, don't do it with us,
Yeah.
but do it
Please
with
God, no.
Don't show us who the hypocrites we are.
Yeah. Or do and just send us something that says bingo and the actual one. Like, oh, God damn it.
We already have a bingo game for the show.
That's true.
Okay. A couple of months ago,
I'm making
I
it.
announced that I needed a break from GMing when a current story arc was finished. Don volunteered that he would like to run a pirate game
Arrgh.
for us, a genre we had never played.
Oh, excellent.
And better yet, he wanted to run it in GURPS. Yeah!
Yeah.
Yeah!
It's written right there. Why don't you do the yes?
I will.
Yeah.
Is that the only one?
No.
Nope.
Oh, there's a couple more. Oh,
I'll
okay.
point
good.
at you when it's
Got
time.
it.
Yeah. Now, I had heard stories about his past games, but no one else was stepping up. So I thought, how bad could it be? Everybody deserves a chance. So we spent a session creating characters. Prisoners of the English crown who are being transported to America as indentured servants or outright slaves.
Oh.
I chose to be an experienced sailor,
Okay.
but most of the group are landlubbers learning their trade as they go. As we are locked into the hold, we are introduced to an NPC named Richard Want, a fellow prisoner. One of the first things he says to us is, The crew of the ship are real badasses. They'll kill you if you try anything, so don't try to mutiny or stuff like that until we get closer to America.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah. Me being me, I don't know about you guys. When somebody says that, like, oh, really?
That's the first red herring that is like, they must want me to mutiny. That must be what.
Hold my beer.
Yes.
This should have been, and was, an instant red flag.
Yeah.
But I chose to ignore it and tried to arrange a mutiny anyway.
Yes!
Yes! The
You are a Happy Jacks player.
The guards on the ship let us serve as sailors as long as we behaved. So we had access to the decks and the other sailors. And we figured to storm the decks one night, seize the officers, and Bob's your uncle. So we plot and scheme, and when the time comes, we open the door of our compartment and find a guard there with a ready musket who was never there before. Not once mentioned, but there he did,
Well
with
done.
the gun pointed at us. We decide to delay our plan until the next night. But the next night never comes. Instead, we are just readying our next move. Just as we are readying our next move, a pirate ship approaches us. So it's all hands on deck. Great, I think. We'll make our move during the battle, toss the guards overboard, and join the pirates. We start doing this.
They did free a lot of slaves, didn't pirates? Occasionally, wouldn't they do that? Wouldn't they offer that when?
Oh,
if they
yeah,
took a ship?
It's like, hey, you don't have these slaves anymore. You can just be on our crew.
Right.
Well, it was sort of like,
Or we
Forced.
get thrown into the water.
yeah. I'm not sure it was not slavery anymore, but it wasn't.
Well, yeah.
We were able to work eventually and like earn
But
their
you get
freedom.
you'd get a,
Yeah.
whatever the
You would not get thrown in the
commensurate
ocean,
share.
yeah.
Right.
I have no idea where I am now. Join the pirates.
We start to do this.
We start to this,
Yarr.
felling 3 guards, but then the pirate ship sails away, leaving the guards to point muskets at us and the other prisoners we managed to free. This is GURPS.
Yeah.
So I know that if we attack in the face of gunfire, we're likely to die.
You are likely to die.
So we surrender. End of session 1. Session 2, we expect to be executed for our mutiny. After all, these guys are real badasses who will kill us if we try anything. But if we do, we won't be on the ocean-going railroad anymore.
You'll be in Davy Jones Railroad.
Yarr. Go straight down. Like this game. The guards clap 3 of us in irons, leaving 2 PCs free to move about the ship. This means that 3 players sat for an hour and a half, role-playing being shackled.
Oh, that kind of sucks.
Well, that's the price you pay
Bad
for
move.
mutiny. So, okay. The
What?
3 of us role-played on the side, telling our life stories and singing sea shanties.
Yes.
Farewell and adieu to you, Spanish ladies.
Farewell.
and adieu to you, ladies of Spain.
Well, the other PCs made our plan of escape with help from, you guessed it, Richard, the GMPC.
See, this is why when I hear GMPC, I shiver.
It's pretty much always a bad idea.
Yes.
I
don't-
won't say always, because there are certain games that require a significant NPC to exist.
Right.
Like Demigods requires a significant
The anchor or
the
whatever they
anchor,
call it.
right?
Right.
But
Yeah,
the anchor is,
spindle.
but the spindle, yeah. But the spindle's not powerful like the PCs.
Right.
No, specifically, they're not. They're supposed
Yeah.
to be the opposite. They're
Yeah.
yeah.
And so a GMPC that is more powerful than the PCs in general is pretty much
See, I feel like a GMPC is at the level of the players where like a MacGuffin is the term for the. I don't know.
I don't know. If I'm playing a GMPC, I'm not running a game. I feel like I'm just playing my GMPC,
Right.
Yes, that's true.
right? I'm figuring out what my PC is going to do
Yeah.
to save the day.
Yes.
Right. And yeah, very often players will spend mental bandwidth figuring out what their characters are going to do to the detriment of their ability to pay attention to what else is happening at the table. And if you're the GM, you can't afford to do that.
Yes, absolutely. But that's also why it's important that the GMPC be at the same level as the players. Just another topic.
or
We're
better.
Or better. Better is always an option for the GM. Sorry, go ahead.
Or way worse. My GMPC is a rat.
Well, there's a game.
Be the best.
Right?
You have to talk to the rat to get any information. You have to protect
Scabbers.
the rat.
There's a game. It's a kids RPG.
Want a rat?
Is it those Meddling Kids, I think. Maybe is it Meddling Kids?
We don't know. You're telling the story, Stu.
No, but
Yeah.
it's a kids RPG. It's like a mystery.
I don't
for mysteries.
read kids RPGs. I don't have one.
Oh, okay, but I went through a few of them. But I think it was Meddling Kids.
It sounds great.
Yeah.
It's basically Scooby Doo.
That's awesome.
And one of the there is a GM or an NPC that the GM has to make, which is the quasi-anthropomorphic animal that can kind of talk but not really. That you have to make your game's version of Scooby. Right, exactly. and that it baked into the rules is like the GM plays this character.
And also, though, with a game, if you have a bunch of 8-year-old players, having somebody to guide them through
Right.
is kind of vital. When
Yeah.
you have a game of 28-year-old players,
They still need guidance.
they still need guidance. Yeah.
They do.
Maybe if they 48-year-old players.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. We're
Sorry to
old.
all you youngins out there. None of you were 28.
No.
No.
Not anymore.
Yeah, I was once upon a time.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I was once when this podcast was still happening.
That's around the time I think they should give you a driver's license.
I wasn't 28 anytime during this
No.
during this podcast.
Oh, no,
Right-
yeah.
It was right before.
Right. Okay, sorry.
All right.
I have no idea where I am now.
Enter 2 more GMPCs.
Yes. Enter 2 more GMPCs. Thomas 2
Oh, God.
and Henry Avery.
Okay, 1 is about enough. How do you keep track of 3?
What's Richard's first name?
Dick.
1, 2, and Avery?
Oh.
Oh, I thought it was going to be a pun.
Oh, I
It's
thought
not.
you
Oh.
were setting up for a dick joke. I was ready. Sorry, never mind.
God, Kimmy's filthy mind.
I'm the worst.
Go
His
ahead,
name is
Tappy.
his last name is
Tappy.
Head.
I am the enemy of fun.
Richard Head.
I'm sorry, Tappy. Go ahead. I apologize for what Kimmy did.
It was funny. Oh my God! Keep reading the email.
That's called a meta joke.
I know.
Those are always good.
Give me wine.
Okay, but if I do, I can't read.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
That's a heavy pour.
What? I was trying to read.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I didn't recognize the names, but it turns out all 3 of these guys are historic pirates.
I was wondering, what, there was something going on because it had weird last names.
So now we're in their story, not ours. And
Yes.
you are totally correct. And that's a problem. That's why I hate playing anything with a canon.
Yes.
Like, I don't want to be in Harry Dresden's game. I want
Right.
to be in my game.
Right. Harry Dresden Universe,
Yeah.
put it in the West Coast
yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Adjacent.
Right. Put it in Anchorage, Alaska.
Yeah.
Yeah, in 1987.
There you go.
Nice. That's oddly
Before Harry's
specific.
born.
Yeah.
Well,
Fan.
no, he was alive.
Fantastic.
That's a
still.
good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, in the 70s.
Yeah.
Disco Dresden.
Disco
God.
Dresden. In Alaska, though.
Yes!
There's like 12 people there and one discotheque.
But it's hopping. Every other Sunday when it's open.
Because everybody else is hunting bears.
Right.
Oh, man, our one listener from Alaska is either thinks this is hilarious or is really angry.
Oh, I'm sure he'll love it.
Um,
If he's, not terrified because of the huge freaking earthquake they did.
Yeah. Or put off by my dick joke. That's also possible.
I
He
should
may have
apologize
stopped
to all of the listeners. Quite frankly. Go ahead. For the rest of the...
For the rest of that session, none of our actions had any consequence. We are sent to steal a key. All of the PCs fail their stealth rolls and their lockpick rolls, but we don't raise any alarms and we still get the key. We set sail on the ship Amity, and at once an election is held to appoint officers of the ship, and guess who is chosen? GMPC Richard.
Of course he is.
Of course he is, right.
He's the most eminently qualified.
You only have like 4 votes. There's the whole rest of the ship. They got like 30.
That's right.
And they've loved Richard from the moment they saw him. Well, he saved them, actually, from a different ship.
That's true.
Right?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, he walked across the
Single-handedly.
water, jumped onto the other ship,
He came bounding across the Pacific Ocean.
setting sun right behind him. We surprise a small cargo ship and approach to seize it.
That's my brother, Sylvester.
Hooray! Sea fight. Nope. Captain runs up the flag. The ship surrenders without a fight, and our character is sent to lug the cargo from the hold. One PC notices, quote, a green gem that calls to you.
I'm calling to you. I'm a green gem.
You really want to take it.
Give me the whiskey.
Please take me.
No, put it over there. Continue.
That's a really good rye.
Or rye, whatever it is.
It's whiskey.
Okay.
Uh,
I don't know anything about it. Go.
Green gem. Sorry, go ahead.
despite the fact that he does not have greed as a disadvantage. He takes it because at least he's doing something. The captain ship is then allowed to sail away. The end. But the real capper, the thing that really frosts my cake, is that when we were at last given weapons, hooray! I now have a cutlass and a pistol. Avast ye scurvy dogs! But then Don says, you know, though, that black powder pistols are really unreliable.
Yes, they are.
So every time you use one, I'll be rolling percentile dice to see if it even works. There's like a 5% chance that the gun won't even go off.
Oh, my fucking God.
We need to keep going. Keep going.
Excuse me? Excuse me?
That's not how the rules work.
I'm no rules lawyer. I play fast and loose with the rules as anyone. But I do know my GURPS.
Yeah!
On a roll of 17 or 18, I've critically missed,
That's correct.
with the chance of something bad happening as a result.
Right.
Now, if he wants black powder pistols to be even less reliable, you could make 16 a critical failure as
And they,
well.
and they probably are that way in high tech or whichever book the black powder books and stuff is in. I think they do crit on a 16.
There's even a table on the GM screen, which I've loaned to Don, titled Firearm Malfunctions. It's all built into the system. But suddenly there's an extra 5% chance on top of my skill roll that I will fail? And furthermore, it's determined by fucking percentile dice? To paraphrase Tom Hanks, there's no percentiles. There's no percentiles in GURPS.
Yeah!
I gently but firmly put this to Don, and he backed off this modification. But Jesus. Well, I think that's a really important thing, you know, like things that modify a game should feel fair.
Yes.
And this
Sure.
obviously didn't feel fair because there's no fucking percentile modifications
Yeah.
in it.
No. The critical failure thing is built into the dice mechanic.
Yes.
So that's the story to date. Remember, this game isn't unbearable. We're all friends, and we joke and do silly accents. 2 British, 1 Irish,
Woohoo!
1 Spanish, 1 Black Panther?
Oh my.
That's not
Wakandan
really...
accent?
I don't know, dude. It's just boring because nothing we do matters.
Yeah.
We're NPCs in Don's story, watching famous pirates do their things and waiting to be told what to do. I've spoken with some of the other players about our options. They've known Don a lot longer than I have, and they despair of helping him correct these problems. Every game he runs, it seems, is just like this. He never asks for feedback, so that opportunity doesn't exist. And again, he's a nice guy, and we don't want to hurt his feelings. The other players feel that if he follows past patterns, he will soon beg off GMing because, quote, I'm too busy, or, quote, it's not going the way I expected. In the meantime, I plan to make my own story within the game, interacting with other players and asking about other NPCs on the ship, forcing Don to create new people. I've taken a strong dislike to the GM NPC, so I'll be role-playing that as well. I'll be upfront that my character wants his own ship and will be working to get one. I'll find the fun where I can and snap the jobs a game. And try to help the other PCs to be awesome. I'm hoping that gaming by example will help. But Jesus. Percentiles in GURPS. Jesus. Drink up me hearties.
Yeah.
Jeb. Knock it, Jib.
Yes. Huzzah. All right, we all just drank for you.
Drinking, we fight, and we drink and we fight. We
Drink,
hearty yo ho. We drink
fight
and we fight and we drink and we fight.
Drink,
Yep,
we
we hearty yo ho.
Oh, man. Well, thank you for sending that in. That was
Thank you.
very entertaining. Keep us abreast of the situation.
That's,
See? I made a boob joke and a dick joke.
I'm sorry. I would like to apologize to all of our
Full
listeners.
of class.
Kimmy's crass sense of humor. She's
I'm
a freaking
The
12-year-old.
worst. I'm the worst. I'm the enemy of fun. Hashtag.
Well, that is true.
funny because it's true.
All right.
right.
I think we're done.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for the email. We appreciate it.
Yeah, no, it's thank you.
And horror stories, keep them coming. We love
Yeah.
horror stories. And we've got a little bit of, we've got like 3 or 4 episodes worth of emails right now. But if you want to send them, I like to have a big, long list. Now, obviously, we don't read every email anymore.
Yeah.
And stuff we're looking for, just for those of you who want to know.
Sorry, Canada.
Oh, sorry, Canada. Wow, that soup makes the stinkiest burps. You went to a hot pot place.
Yeah.
I love Hot Pot.
The horror stories. We like horror stories. Stories about general GMing advice. The sort of navel gazing, gaming theory kinds of things. You know, yet like sort of like the little defining the word. What does it mean?
Yeah.
When is it sent this? And when, things like that, like the sandbox thing or the crunch thing.
Yeah, it's all the bullshit that I like.
Right.
I was like, okay, what is the definition of this, and how can we apply this to blah blah blah?
Right, but I can tell you from and now I'm going to release some. I won't release all of it, but I will release some of the information from our listener survey, which finished up like a month and a half ago at this
Yeah.
point. But those are like the top most popular types of emails. That's the stuff I always have looked for, and that's the stuff that's most likely going to get read. Now Jeb's horror story was almost 3 pages long, which is a little long, but he had a couple sessions and he had some good stuff in there. So
They were very good
If
things.
you've got good content in there, a 3-page email is definitely forgivable.
It wasn't quite a Jib email. But it's
No, it was pretty long.
It's been so long. I think people have forgotten that.
I think there have been a couple people who've blasted through
Yeah.
that record.
Yeah.
Oh,
We've had some. At one point, these were 11 pages long.
Yeah. We cut down.
Just so you know.
Jiminy Christmas.
Yes.
Then Jib came on the show, so he stopped having to write in. So
Right.
then they got much thinner.
No. Actually, it was after he moved out here
I
that
know.
they started getting that.
I'm just
that
kidding.
big.
He was
All right.
ghostwriting it.
So I'm going to close it out.
All right. Hit the button, Stu.
Not working.
There you go.
Yeah!
All right.
Thank you for joining us for season 23, episode 07 of the Happy Jacks RPG podcast. My name is Stu.
My name is Kimmy.
I'm Cappy! Yeah! Thank you very much. We'll see you next week. And this Sunday, we've got L5R.
Yes.
And what's on Monday?
Tomorrow we have Darknet, and then
Darknet.
Monday we've got Abria's D&D game, I believe.
Oh, excellent. There you go.
So, yes. Very cool.
Thank you very much. We'll leave this on.
Yes. Goodbye.
Tis 3:30 and the chill is gone. It's the longest binge I've ever been on. And so many pints, my mind's stupefied. But through all the haze, I still hear them cry. Drink, motherfucker, drink. A curse to you lads, a curse on your head. Drinking pint after pint until I am dead. I just keep drinking and I don't know why. But tonight is the night that I drink till I die. It's 4:45 and I'm still going strong. Is this the only place I truly belong? To make it all end, I the good Lord beseech. Lying on the floor with my drink out of reach. Drink, motherfucker, drink. A curse to you lads, a curse on your head. Drinking pint after pint until I am dead. I just keep drinking and I don't know why. But tonight is the night that I drink till 6 in the morn, can't remember my name. I see all the faces, they all look the same. And the puke on the floor makes a terrible stink. What is this demon that makes me want to drink? Drink, motherfucker, drink. A curse to you lads, a curse on your head. Drinking pint after pint until I am dead. I just keep drinking and I don't know why. But tonight is the night that I drink till I die. Drink, motherfucker, drink. A curse to you lads, a curse on your head. Drinking pint after pint until I am dead. I just keep drinking and I don't know why. But tonight is the night that I drink till I die. It's now almost noon and the spinning has stopped. There'll be no more drink to the floor I do drop. And there's old Nick offering eternal pain. He smiles as he sings this infernal refrain. Drink, motherfucker, drink. A curse to you lads, a curse on your head. Drinking pint after pint until I am dead. I just keep drinking and I don't know why. But tonight is the night that I drink till I die. A curse to you lads, a curse on your head. Drinking pint after pint until I am dead. I just keep drinking and I don't know why. But tonight is the night that I drink till I die. Drink, motherfucker, drink.
The preceding program has been a presentation of the Angry Folk Media Empire.